Block. Open the public hearing for the budget revision. If anybody has any comments. Okay. Move on to the regular board meeting. Started with the roll call.
Eldon Larson. Dayton Flake.
Here.
Andrew Bushman.
Here.
Karsten Flake.
I'm here.
Kat Hansen.
Move to the Pledge of Allegiance. Do we have any volunteers to lead us in the pledge?
I can do it. Salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Volunteer for the invocation?
I can do it.
Okay, thank you, Andy.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity we have to meet together as a school and the community to discuss the stuff regarding the school district. We ask you to please bless us with knowledge and wisdom on how to work with the items that are on the agenda today. We ask you to please bless all those who are defending family and freedom. Please protect them. We thank you for all that we have. We say these things in Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Mosier, and thank you, Andrew. Move to the meeting. I motion that we adopt the meeting as presented.
I'll second it.
Okay. Call for the vote. Myself, yes. Andrew? Dayton?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Make a motion that we approve minutes for the April 9th, 2024 board meeting.
I'll second it.
Okay. Call for the vote. Andrew?
Yes.
Dayton?
Yes.
Myself, yes. And move to the superintendent's report.
Okay, thank you. So you should have a written report I've put together there for you as an attachment under updates and report. And this is a busy time of the year for us, but we are managing. I'm just trying to pull it up myself here and make sure I got it. You can see we have a lot of different things going on. Computer's not cooperating, but graduation ceremonies next week is one thing I did want to bring to your attention. So that's Wednesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Want to make sure you guys are all formally invited. If you could consider this your formal invitation, thank you. So, like I said, that's at 7. It's a formal event, 8th grade promotion, and then the senior commencement ceremony. A couple of items that Eldon did stop by and sign these for us, but SFP has approved us to move forward with the projects for the elementary cafeteria roof and some drainage concerns that we have at our playground at the elementary. The elementary intercom system is complete and working well. So we'd like to get the high school done soon as well. So that's on our list, and we're working on that. The high school completed their accreditation review. That's something that happens about every 5 years. Sometimes it's a little different, but they come in and check to see what you're doing for continual improvement. Things like professional development hours, making sure we have embedded PD built in, and classes that are meeting the requirements for graduation. So that's called our accreditation review. And so that's completed. Congratulations to Mr. Miller and his staff on getting that done. We're expecting our standardized scores to come back in here soon, probably within the month, next few weeks. And I will let you know as soon as I get those. High school girls softball team, I'm sure you've heard by now, but they won the state championship, so congratulations to them and all their supporters. You get a lot of support from maintenance, transportation, parents, assistant coaches, teachers, a lot of people behind the scenes pulling for these girls, and it's good to see them get this success.
I have a comment, a question, I don't know if you know the answer. I heard that some records or whatever were broken, the most points scored in a,
The most runs scored in the state championship game in Arizona history, 1A through 6A for softball. Yeah,
wow,
it was a big deal.
that's pretty cool. Good, congratulations to them and all those that support them. There's, like you're saying, there's a lot of other people and identities involved in that.
And something a little more current that's not written on my report, we did have some vandalism that some of you have asked me about over the weekend on staff members' vehicles, not on school grounds, but they were staff members, and the alleged suspects were students, and it looks like we've received word that they've caught them and they're being dealt with, so that's what that is. I don't know if you want any more information on that or what we can really share about it. Just a bad thing that sometimes you got to deal with, I guess. We have received our financial audit that we do annually, so we did get that back from them. However, we need to make sure that it's 100% complete and accurate, and then we'll send it in. So this is something that's late, and I think you've all received an email about this saying something about it. So we're going to go out to bid for this service again next year, and probably go with a different company, because this is just unacceptable to have it turned back to us at this point. The district was asked to sponsor T-ball Little League program, and I think this is a good idea, so I wanted to inform you guys about it. Similar to some of the other programs we do, it's an activity for the summer, mostly Joseph City kids. I think there's 2 or 3 teams. How many? T-ball? 6 teams. They divide them, you put 5 on a team or something?
Wow.
And we have 10 on each team this year. That's more kids than we've ever had.
Well, that's good news for our enrollment coming up, I guess.
T-ball and
And coach pitch. Yeah.
Okay.
That's not, for the older.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, so they use the school facilities, so we wanted to make this formal and make sure that you guys see the volunteer coaches that will be approved, and that you know this is going on, and that we'll handle the money they collect. They don't collect a huge fee, but the little fee they get from everyone will go into an account and help fund that. But like I mentioned in my report, it's somewhat similar to our swim team, and then also a little bit like soccer and intramural basketball. This is the summer one, so I would compare it more to swim team. But our students, so I think that's a good idea. We also have our other summer programs lined out. Like most of them are credit recovery. We do have the library open this summer, some things of that nature.
The weight room also going to be open? Okay.
You know. And let's see, another thing I wanted to make sure I informed you guys about was the small electric bus that we were awarded through a federal grant is still on its way. But we were given an opportunity to potentially obtain another larger electric bus at a discounted rate that would seat about 80 students, small students. And we are definitely interested, because it will save us money if we can use it as a route bus. So this doesn't include, you might remember I talked about 2 other electric buses in round 2 of a grant. That's not this. This is round 1 still. So potentially 2 buses, a bigger one and then a smaller one. So to get the bigger one, we still want to use them as route buses. The gasoline buses for sure, I think long term are going to be the activity buses, where we have to go out of town and all that. But having a few, ones that we can run locally, I think is a good idea. So, ultimately, I think the district's looking at maybe $75,000 for this bus, and it's probably the total on it, $400,000, $500,000 bus, something like that. Yeah, so it's a good deal, and, hopefully we have your support with that.
It's the same thing, we had to sacrifice another bus to get this bus.
Yes, that is true. But, yeah, we do have some older buses, so.
Will that be part of next month's agenda?
It could be. I have authorized us to proceed. Did they ask for anything from the board on that? For the first bus, I know that we did. We did have to get some kind of authorization, a contract with the board. But this one, that's probably why I'm including it now. If you have some things, some concerns, maybe we should talk about them. Another district declined it, I think, is how we might have wound up with this. And to turn the bus, so we do have to turn a bus in or sell it at least. So, yeah, that's what those are.
Can you sell it to the foundation, and then the foundation can rent it back when the electric buses go down?
Probably, yeah.
I'm not trying to be crude, but
Right, yeah.
I'm quite leery of the electric. If it was that great, you'd see a lot more of them.
That would be the safest thing to do, something like that, I think, as far as risk. I think we have a representative from our attorneys here tonight. Would you like to introduce yourself to us?
Hi there, my name is Brandon Kaywood. I'm from Gus Rosenfeld. Here to answer questions about the override and election resolution.
All right, thank you, Brandon. We might have more questions for you than just the override. No, but, yeah, I think something like that might be an option for us. Just
How soon do we need to do anything with it?
Yeah, I think it's a ways out because, it takes a long time to get these things. Seems like we're like a year. Did they mention anything to you, Steve, on a time frame?
On the
I
big
don't
one,
recall.
well, but the small one, they originally said like about 3 months, but we don't know for sure. I haven't heard back on that for sure. The big one, is longer. It's gonna be like 6 to 9 months.
And we have a list that like prioritizes the ones we will get rid of that are the older ones. So it is a concern for us.
Do we have two that are at that point to get rid of?
Yes. Easily, basically 3, easily. That's what we were putting in for originally, was 3. So we didn't think that would be a problem, but now if it goes to 4, I'll have to double check that. We did have a math teacher, decline the position that she was approved for from the last meeting we had. And so Mr. Miller and his staff are working on getting that covered. That's, on my report as well. Kind of, unfortunate, but it sounds like he has a plan.
With what's happening on this meeting as well, as far as resignations, how many teachers are we looking for up there?
I've actually got them all covered.
Even with the tonight's?
Correct, yeah. We had a aide that will be certified by the end of the summer to be a teacher and is gonna kind of fill in-house.
Okay. And what about you?
We're looking for one PE teacher.
Part-time.
I think we found them.
Okay, that's good. Good job. I know it's not always easy.
We should have that PE teacher and a transportation coordinator, on the next board agenda for you guys. ASU is gonna complete an energy audit for us in June. We have a meeting with them, this week on Thursday, it's like a pre-visit meeting, discuss some of these things, with us, what they're looking at, energy costs and such. And this is they're not charging us for this. That's good.
I'm not, well, yeah.
There are 2 maintenance workers on the agenda for tonight, and they both agreed to also become certified bus drivers. And there's another team that's requested to come to football camp. However, it's at a different week, and that would be the last week in June. Mr. Mills will want to coordinate that with the coach pitch and T-ball group, so there's no overlap there. So it's the last week in June.
So when is isn't there 2 already?
2 other teams.
And when do they come up?
Well, the only one that confirmed is Queen Creek. Mountain View, will not be coming. Their coach moved to a different school, and, so they won't.
Okay. So,
So we've got several other schools that have expressed interest, they want to get on our schedule, but I haven't got any, we haven't got a commitment in writing from them yet. Hopefully we'll have that by the end of this week or the first of next.
is staffing for that a problem at all?
No, we've talked about it, and we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it is an opportunity to bring money into
Yep.
the school and to pay our workers to do stuff.
You can see on the agenda tonight, a lot of student workers and stuff on here, and this does help fund that.
Well, it gives them hours too, so that they can make some money.
Absolutely. Okay, as far as my report, those are the items I have. If you have any questions or want information on something else, feel free to let me know.
Any questions? Thank you, Mr. Fields. Do we have any call to the public?
None.
Okay. I motion that we approve the consent agenda items, all of 4A, all the way through G, I believe. Yes, 4A through G.
I'll second.
Okay. Do we have any questions, comments, anything we need to discuss?
So is this kindergarten signing up early starting to be a trend now? And is it
It would, yeah.
beneficial?
Be good for these students.
And I just hope the parents understand, you guys do this, and your kids fail.
A lot of support from parents.
I mean, if that's what the parents feel they need to do, so be it, but I just kind of surprised me. It's been 3 or 4 years in a row we've.
Same families.
Could be a trend. We didn't have any for several years that I can remember, and now we have had 2 or 3 years.
As long as they keep their grades up.
Any other questions? Okay, call for the vote. Dayton?
Yes.
Myself, yes.
Yes.
Andrew? A motion that we approve the personnel requests for 6A. There's quite a list there. Some resignations.
I got a
renewal
question.
appointments.
Who's Lauren Farr? Bushman.
Stephanie's daughter.
She just got married.
She married a Bushman?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, never mind, that's my cousin. Moving on.
Are you was that your second?
Sure,
Yeah, I counted.
So Andrew seconded it.
Okay.
we're moving back. Anyway, I was just looking at it going like, who the heck is that?
Has changed her name, but we put Farr in there.
All right, yeah, I don't know why.
I don't know that they're moving back, but she may come for a few weeks and stay here and while she's here, she may do some work for us.
Cool, all right. Sorry about my ignorance.
Right on.
Any other questions or comments? Thanks to those people that have been here for their help. Okay, call for the vote. Myself, yes. Andrew? Dayton?
Yes.
A motion that we approve the out-of-state student travel for the FBLA group.
I'll second.
Okay. Do we have any questions or anything about that? Can you tell us some more about that?
Yeah, they still have some funding to raise. They seem to think they can, but little bit over 5,000, I think they have to raise. But between the football camps and, what he's told us, yeah, he has some private donors that are willing to contribute, that, they may be able to make this happen. So it's a national competition in Florida.
How many of our students does it involve?
This year, 2 is all. So that was a concern for us, and we've talked to the teacher a few times. I have, and Mr. Miller has, and actually even Mr. Mills, about trying to make sure they have everything covered, from the plane tickets to everything that's involved, the hotel. But, yeah, just 2.
Okay.
And they're gonna cover all the costs before they go?
That's the plan. That's what he wrote us in the latest email to get this on the agenda. Didn't say that exactly, but that was our understanding prior to the email.
So if something happens and they don't, they're not...
Well, the trip's in June, and the football camp, I think if it's close, it would be safe to, if they're gonna plan on working that, and they did say that in their email. So we'd have to make that decision, but, if they're close and still wanna go, and they see that they can make that at the concessions in the football camp, I think that'd be okay.
Okay. So, myself, yes. Andrew?
Yes.
Dayton? Is 6C just information? Or is that, we need to vote to do the override?
Yeah, this is the big agenda item.
Okay.
And once we open this up, now we can't go in an executive session for this, but I don't think we need to, necessarily, unless Brandon disagrees with me here. I'm good with doing this out in public. We might wanna read this entire item out, because, it's very specific wording.
I motion that we consider, discuss, attend if desired, and if deemed advisable, to adopt a resolution ordering and calling a special budget override election to be held in and for the district, and declaring the deadline for submitting arguments for and against the election to the Navajo County School Superintendent as August 9th, 2024, at 5 p.m., and approving the governing board's arguments in support of the special maintenance and operation budget override election. So we need a second, and then we can discuss it.
I'll second.
Okay.
Mr. Mills has pulled up here all the related documents. So it's the resolution, and there's also, the board's rationale or arguments for. That's typical, that's legal. People can also submit more arguments for or against. And Brandon, how about I turn it over to you? You're the expert, I hope.
Yeah. So at least.
What we're paying you for. Sorry.
Yeah. So as far as the board for argument, that is unique to a override. You are required as a collective board to give a statement for the override election. The other for and against arguments is limited to 10 total pro, 10 total con, and they're all due by that deadline that you provided when you made that motion. It's statutory as far as that deadline goes. I believe 90 days out from the November election.
Does it have to be, if there's 5 yes whatevers, does there have to be 5 no's?
No, it's just,
Okay.
it's just a cap.
Okay.
And it's not worded very friendly in the statute. You kind of have to, it looks like a bit of a word problem, but it ends up being about 10 of each is the limit. As far as the actual override goes, it's relatively standard as far as the language goes. We stick to the statute, giving a 15% increase. As far as the exhibits go, we have both a polling place and mail election. That it's not meant to be, like confusing. It's kind of our way of, any type of rainy day. If you'll see in Exhibit B1 and, B2, I believe, we have a polling place election or mail ballot election. For example, if we have a, say, a pandemic that doesn't allow people to vote in person, there's some of the things that have been added to our resolutions over the year to allow for that type of flexibility. Are there any questions about the override in general? I mean, I can speak to the resolution and its functions, but,
What's the difference number-wise between a 10 and a 15?
5%.
About
5, yeah.
For us, it would be, now it's calculated on current numbers, everything with the override. So things, of course, would shift once the power plant shuts down. However, it's about $230,000 right now annually would be what it would cost the district if we decreased it to a 10% right away.
And when, I know the answers, but for the public, when does this one that we're in end, and when would this one start?
FY26 is when it would start to go down.
Right, next fiscal year 24-25 would be the final year, of the current override before, at the full 100% before it phases down. So in fiscal year 26 is when, if the board does not call for an election, or if you have an election and it doesn't pass, then it would, start phasing down.
But this keeps us on track to stay at the,
Right, so there's no dip,
yes,
right,
okay.
continuation. And the word, I don't know how much you were able to study and look at that argument for, but the wording we chose in there is to continuation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's clear to people that this is something that's that's in place right now.
And it's also something that, as a governing board, could reduce this, could eliminate it, or whatever, depending on how the future goes with the power plant closing and
Correct.
whatever else.
Correct, and like we put in, stated in the argument, if the tax burden becomes too much to bear, then sure, you can either say, no, we want it to go to 10% or 5% or 0%.
And that's the school board that does that.
Yes, because the school board is who determines, who authorizes the tax levy, who authorizes the county treasurer to levy a tax on our behalf. Am I right? You're right on it, yeah. And something that, I believe we would need to do, what we would want to do going forward is to be a little more intentional about looking at calculating what our estimated tax rate would be each year before it comes to a vote, because it has to get to the county treasurer's office the next,
Yes.
The next week or whatever, so that we can look at that and the board would have time to consider the options there.
Yes, especially with the power plant and other stuff, that is something we should keep the community aware of and how it's going.
And we've secured this company. We're working with them, and at no charge. That's what they told us, to watch this very closely with us. This is their specialty. What's their? Should have. He probably knows.
I'll think of it.
Seinfeld or?
They do bond, advising for bonds and overrides and that kind of thing, and they said they would help us, with that kind of thing.
I think it's
Yes, people,
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Heard Steinfeld knows going to Heinfeld Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're dipping their toes in water.
So do we have any other information that we need?
All they can really find and collect for us right now is that it's on the only thing we can put in this paperwork is current year stuff. So it's taxes as they stand right now. Until anything changes, they just won't know, and we just won't know. With the county assessors and valuation assessments, all that.
So are we ready to vote, or do we need more information?
What are you guys looking at me for?
I'm looking at both of you. Okay,
I want the citizens to make the decision.
well, they will eventually.
Well, they will, it's depending on.
So myself, yes. Andrew?
Yes.
Dayton?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
I motion that we approve the 2023, 2024 budget revisions for school district number 2, meaning Joseph City Unified School District also. Okay.
If you go to the rationale on this item, Steve does a good job of summing it up. Because of our enrollment increase a little bit, that's the adjustment. So it's about $78,000 increase to this current year budget that we were allocated. And he explains where he put it in, increase of about 20 total students. A very small decrease in capital, it's like $70. But so the revision actually is an increase to our budget.
And we need to vote to accept it, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Andrew?
Yes.
Dayton? Myself, yes. Moving on to information items. I just wanted to take the opportunity. I've had some people tell me that sometimes they feel like they can't talk to administrators or board members or whatever about concerns that they have. Please, if you have questions, concerns, go to somebody and talk to them. And if you can't get it resolved, come talk to a board member, talk to the superintendent. I think people are very willing to listen and to understand, so please, let's bring our concerns to the proper people and see what we can do to make our community the best that we can and work through some things. I just wanted to put that out there.
We definitely value their input anytime we receive it.
I have yet to get yelled at by a principal. Request for future agenda items. Is the bus needing to be on one in the future?
The big one is the small one you approved.
Yes, it's already taken care of.
Yeah, so we were kind of waiting to get everything settled, with that, so.
Okay, so that's maybe one that will be on the next one.
Yeah, and probably what we should include are the ones that we're going to dispose of.
Yes.
I do have the list of that. I
Okay.
just haven't put it as part of the backup yet.
Okay, let's do that. Also, I'm guessing next month we'll have some more people to hire, I hope,
Yes.
and take care of. And you said something about potentially a bus management. What is that?
Transportation.
Transportation.
Yeah. So we're leaving that position open just a little bit longer, but, yeah, we have some good candidates.
When is this one done? When does this one's end?
I think it ends June 8th, was it, Steve? Steve changed it for me.
I'm sorry.
When does the position close for transportation?
Oh, the day, well, we said it's closed the day after the next board meeting.
Okay.
Board meeting.
Okay, so we need to get that then. And then remember, we have 8th grade promotion and high school graduation that the board is invited to be at. Julie, will you make sure that those are published as meetings? Okay. And then our regular board meeting is June 11th for our next one. I motion that we close the meeting 6:34. Okay. Call for the vote. Andrew?
Aye.
Dayton?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Thank you. 6:34.
Those guys, they have, and a big It looks like it was muted and you just turned it on.
Oh,